Welcome to the quest for the perfect bracket. I've got Wayne Staats with me who's been breaking down bracket data, how the nation is picking. Staats, we didn't really have an update yesterday because not a ton of the numbers changed since the first time we talked about how the nation's been picking in this year's March Madness bracket. But last night we saw North Carolina absolutely dominate in the first four over San Diego State. How did that affect everything?
Yeah, so I have the numbers right here. So I think it's important to note first the context of how these numbers come about. So, when you fill your bracket, you have the option to have UNC or San Diego State because whoever that winner is, you get credit for. So some people might have thought the Aztecs would have been the team to win on Tuesday night and advance further, and for a good reason. They made the Final Four a few years back, Sweet 16 last year. They just ran to UConn twice. But that was the problem. So, now we know that it's UConn specifically. Now we know for a fact that people are picking UNC specifically, not just either or. Like they want the Tar Heels to advance in their bracket. And numbers are pretty cool. So it's important to note too, like we've already seen millions of brackets were entered in before UNC won. So the fact that people are going back into their brackets, making edits, making updates with UNC known as that spot, I think it's kind of interesting. So on Sunday night, that UNC San Diego State winner, because you can go for either one, no matter who won that game, was at like 28.5%, which is not bad for 11 seed. Last night, it was, before the game yesterday, it was about 29.99%. Let's just say 30%. But less than 24 hours after UNC crushed San Diego State, it's now up to 36.5%. So you can see 6.5 percentage points just since UNC won by a lot in terms of winning the first round against Ole Miss. So I think that's kind of cool. You can see in real time how knowing a specific team and UNC, big brands usually do better than less known teams. Not saying that people pick them because they shouldn't pick them, just that they're familiar. People know them. They have a lot of fans. You want to pick your favorite team a lot. So those teams do really well. And right now, UNC is the fourth most popular upset pick this year, behind Drake, Colorado State, and VCU. But still, UNC is still rising. We were checking throughout the day on Wednesday, see how much more it could go, and it's still going to go. It's still going up. So maybe UNC catches VCU, but there's a lot more data to go till brackets lock for sure.
Yeah, and it's notable that these are millions of brackets that have already been filled out. So this means that people are going back in after UNC dominated like that and changing their first round pick, saying, I think I'm going to take UNC for one more game because they're pretty hot right now. But Stats, how does this kind of stack up against history? I mean, numbers of the past or even this year, I know 11 seeds are really popular in the bracket this year. Like you mentioned, Drake, VCU.
Yeah, that's why it's important to note that even though in a vacuum this is a very large increase for UNC, we're not saying this is like the most popular upset pick we've ever seen. It's not even the most popular pick this year, like I mentioned. You can see, Drake is number one right now at 44%, and UNC is going to have to do a lot of work to catch up that. I don't think they'll get that much more in the next day or so. Yeah. But still, they could catch VCU, so they're up there. But even historically, there's a chance, since 2014, we see the most popular upset picks every year. We track that, see what the numbers are, what that percentage was. UNC could get up to top 15 from this year over since 2014. But it's important to note how popular other upset picks were. So 3 teams were selected above 50%, and they're all 11 seeds. It was 2016 Gonzaga, 22 Michigan, and 22 Virginia Tech were all selected above 50% to win their first round game. So you can see even though UNC has gotten a lot more popular, there's still a very large gap to be the record for the team that people were most obsessed with picking as the upset. And 2 of those 3 teams did win. Gonzaga won that one, Michigan won as well. So there's good history to be the most popular of something every year and do well historically, not every year. But maybe UNC can rise up and get one of the top 3 or 4 upsets picks this year.
All right, well, lots of people hopping on the UNC bandwagon right now, but we still have a little ways to go. Everybody, this is just a reminder to fill out your bracket if you haven't already, and do that before brackets lock tomorrow. And we will be there right after with a final update on all the numbers on how the nation picked. So see you then.